Alright, we're going to start a little mellow today. It's time for math class. Alright, so today we're going to be adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Now, everything we've learned is exactly the same, except when we have mixed numbers with different denominators, or unlike denominators, we have to take the fraction parts and find equivalent fractions just like we did yesterday. So nothing really changes, we just add the whole numbers to the mix. So let's look at a problem. Starting with 2.5 plus 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to separate and ignore. I don't need to worry about the 2 and the 1 right now. I can go ahead and add those together, and those equal 3. I'm going to focus on now 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, so I've got 2 will go into 4. I'm going to make my common denominator 4, which means 1/4 stays the same, and I have to change the 2 into a fraction that equals 4. 2 times 2 equals 4, so 1 times 2 equals 2. Now I have 2/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. So again, I've done the whole numbers separately, and I've done the fraction parts separately, and come up with my final mixed number. Okay, let's look at another one. Now you may wish to write down the fraction part separately and do it with a little more space like we did yesterday. So I can rewrite the 4/5. Now today, this one we're going to be subtracting, minus 1/2. Okay, let's just look at the fraction parts first. I need to find a common denominator, and I can see the easy common denominator method. 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. So I put a 10 on this side, and a 10 on this side. Okay, now again, I've got my equivalent fractions. What's the missing numerator? This is what we did over the flexible learning day. 5 times 2 equals 10. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 5 equals 10. So 1 times 5 equals 5. Now I have 8/10 minus 5/10. And that gives me 3/10. And then I can subtract 3 minus 2 and get 1. As you can see, all we're doing is still finding like common denominators, adding or subtracting the fractions, and then including the whole numbers. Alright, let's try another one of these. Let's go with 4 1/3 plus 2 2/5. Okay, again, now I'm going to do the fraction part. 1/3 plus 2/5. I'm going to see that I make both of these denominators 15 by using the easy method. Now, I like to put the boxes around them, because then it makes it look like the problems we did when we found the missing numerator. So 3 times 5 is 15, so 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 3 equals 15, so 2 times 3 equals 6. Now, got my new fractions that I'm working with here, 5/15 and 6/15. So now I can go back and I can add the whole numbers. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 5/15 plus 6/15 is 11/15. Okay, so I just pull the fraction part out, do it like we did yesterday, and I separate the whole number part. Let's practice one of these. Let's give you one that you can try. 2 1/4 plus 1 2/5. Pause your video, work this problem out, let's see how you did. All right, so Again, we're going to separate. I'm going to separate the fraction parts. 1/4 plus 2/5, and separate the whole number parts. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. Easy common denominator again. So 4 times 5 times 5 is 5. So I got 5/20ths plus 5 times 4 times 4 equals 8. 5/20ths plus 8/20ths equals 13/20ths. Put that together with 2 plus 1 is 3. So my answer is 3 and 13/20ths. All right, let's look at the book pages now. Turn in your book to page 209. Okay, here we have 3 different problems with mixed numbers. Now they're writing them up and down, which is fine. They're writing them vertically. We've been writing them horizontally. Nothing changes. But look and see, there's an error made in each problem. Find that error and then correct each problem. Rewrite it on a piece of paper if you want to. Write it here in your book, but show your work and find the error, mark what the error is, and then find the correct answer. Pause your video and work on this now. Go. All right, let's look at these. Clearly, number 1, they have added the numerators. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Can't do that. Okay, so we need to redo these fractions. So when I'm going to rewrite these, make my pen a little skinnier now that I'm in the book. 1/2 and 2/7. What is another denominator? Better denominator to use would be 14. When you write these vertically, it's kind of nice too because you got the problems right here nice and neatly. So we take 7 times 2 is 14, so 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 7, 1 times 7 is 7. Okay, now I can take 3 plus 6 is 9. And now 7 and 10 is 17/14. But I have a mixed number here, so I have to undo that. We already know how to do that. 14 goes into 17 one time. And I have 3 left over, 3/14. Now I combine the 9 and the 1. So my final answer for this one will be, make a little more space here, 10 and 3/14. All right, let's move over to number 2. Number 2, what was the error they made here? They took the 1, numerator 1, minus 4 and got 3. Well, you can't do that. Okay, we have to do some borrowing here. So again, to borrow, I borrow 1 from the numerator, make it a 7. 5 plus 1 is 6. My new numerator is 6. Now I can subtract. Same denominator, so 6 minus 4 is 2/5, and 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 and 2/5 is my final answer there. All right, and now number 3, the last one up here. Don't have much room there, but I'll work it over here in the white section. What mistake did they make here? Oh, look at that. They did some, I'm not sure what they did, but they did some multiplying. 9 times 6 is 54. They got, oh no, they did. Well, let's work this one out and see what they did here, because on the looks of it, can't quite tell, but we'll have to see. So, I would like to use 6 and 9, and since 9 and 6 are so big and 54 is such a big denominator, I'm going to go through, and 6 times 2 is 12, 9 times 2 is 18, 6 times 3 is 18. I'm going to use 18 as my common denominator. So 6 times 3, so 1 times 3 is 3/18. And 9 times 2, so 1 times 2 is 2. Now if we add them together, we have 3 and 5/18. Okay, what they did is they didn't simplify, and when they did, They had the wrong numbers. They multiplied by the wrong ones. So, here we have our final answer of 3 5/18. Okay, let's look at the rest of page 209. Turn in your books to page... Here we have some story problems where you're going to be adding or subtracting, and it says in the directions, give your answer in simplest form. So read through 4, 5, 6, and 7. Solve the problems. We'll come back and check your answers. Okay, let's look at number 4. Dora the elephant eats 3 3/4 tons of food every month. Her baby eats 1 1/6 tons of food. How many tons of food do they eat altogether? You're going to add these together, and you should come up with the answer of 4 11/12 tons. Okay. Number 5. If you don't get the answer right, I want you to redo the problem so you can figure out what you did wrong. Number 5. The tallest elephant, Leroy, can reach a branch 12 1/3 feet off the ground. Daisy can reach 10 5/6 feet off the ground. How much farther can Leroy reach than Daisy? You need to subtract 12 1/3 minus 10 5/6, and you get 1 1/2 feet. 1 1/2 feet higher or farther. Speedy, the fastest elephant, can run 25 1/10 miles per hour. Squirt can run only 10 3/5 miles per hour. How many fewer miles can Squirt run in an hour than Speedy? You're going to subtract 25 1/10 minus 10 3/5, and you're going to get 14 1/2 miles. Number 7. The truck that carries the elephants holds 10 tons. Which 2 elephants could travel together in the truck? Name all the possible pairs. Okay, I want to look at these. Which ones add up to 10 tons or less? We've got Daisy and Squirt. We also have Dora and Squirt. And the last group we could have is Speedy and Squirt. Those are the 3 combinations you could possibly have. All right, let's move on. It is time for homework and remembering 5:15. So yeah, homework and remembering 5-15. And let's also do IXL K.6. That's going to be working on finding the lowest common denominator, just like I've been doing the last couple of days. The lowest common denominator. So, good luck.